Hey, aunties. This is Corey.
Hey, aunties. This is Adam.
Hey, aunties. This is Nick.
What's brewing today?
Curiosity, truth or drink with our partners.
Ask your aunties, 90-day booty call.
And fuck RKelly. So get your cups ready for MinoriTea Report. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing today?
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Episode 50. It's the big 5-0.
Yes.
Big 5-0.
Didn't they do a song on the Cosby Show when their grandparents had like their 50th anniversary?
Oh, yeah.
Baby!
Oh, that's right.
You know that?
Baby!
With Rudy.
Right.
Yeah, Rudy.
With Rudy. She was so cute.
Wasn't she?
They were doing that on the stairs. I remember that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so, community, if you heard another voice, it's a special episode this episode. We each have our partners, our hubbies, our boyfriends, whatever we want to call them for the day. It depends on the mood. When we figured it was episode 50, we wanted to do something a little different. And so people have been asking when we're going to get our partners on here. And here we are. So say hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
Oh, Lord.
All right,
Okay,
Delilah.
Places, everyone. Places.
Right.
Here we go.
She just don't eat it.
Well, community, hopefully your Monday's starting off
This
nice.
is gonna be
We'll see how this
something.
episode goes. It's already taken us like an hour before to get here to finally start recording.
Look, we had a
man.
little bit of an issue last week because we were kind of all over the place. The Lord only knows where this conversation is going to go.
Dear God, I know.
But I'm looking forward to it, though, I have to say.
Same here.
I'm mad at Kerel.
Oh, so you're just going to go all
Here we
the
go.
top.
All
See,
the
this
way
is-
under the bus. So
See,
you
this is why
all the
we
way on
didn't
the
pick that
bus.
other set
5
of
minutes
cards.
in.
Right, already. Why are you mad
Corey,
at me?
why are you mad at
Why are
AunTea
you upset?
Kerel here?
So I had to work yesterday. A long day.
And yesterday was Sunday, fun day.
I had to work yesterday and I was running around. And my husband, he calls me. He's like, I text him. I say, hey, are we on our own for dinner? That's great. No problem if you're doing your thing, blah, blah, blah. He made me drive my butt and pick him up at a bar. And he got in the car. He goes, oh, by the way, I'm going to go back out. I'm just going to have dinner with you. I said, I drove, stop.
Uh-huh.
I drove 2 blocks. I'm like, get out. Because my ass wanted pho from up where I worked, and I drove all my butt all the way down here for
Now,
nothing.
wait a minute. Let me just
I'm
ask.
just going to read
hold
the
on,
receipts
hold
of the
on.
conversation. to
Wait a
text.
minute. Hold on one second, because I got your back, Kerel. I got your back. Now,
Thank you, girl.
if-
All you want.
Oh,
if
because then your car
memories-
break down?
If memory serves me correctly,
Thank you,
somebody
boo.
had a car that broke down, and somebody had to go up to somebody else's job and have conversations with somebody's people that are in the showroom, etc.
Okay, are you
Showing
done?
support.
And what did I have to do the next morning, too?
And,
What did I have
and
to do the
before
next
she
morning
comes
on
with
my
the
day
rebuttal,
off?
just realize that we have the power to cut your mic off, as Judge Judy always
Facts.
says.
There's no rebuttal.
Don't make me spit my drink out.
Kerel's car was not broken down.
Anyway. But
His attitude was broke down.
no, it wasn't. You was the one that was upset at life. Here's the conversation. It goes, out the blue, he goes, Kay, food? And I go, at Blake's right now with the crew. What do you want? He's like, food. So he's already with the attitude in the text thread. And he goes, I can meet you anywhere
If
if you want, or I could do my own thing if you're staying out. I wanted to do dinner with my husband.
Okay.
So I go,
just
want to
perfect.
pick me up and we grab food? He goes, sure. Then he goes, are you drunk? And then he goes, text me the location. And I go, not yet. I wasn't drunk yet. So I send him the location. So I go, text me when you leave so I know whether or not to get another beverage. So here I am thinking I'm doing something nice, going to dinner with my husband. And she wasn't feeling it. I got in that car. I was like, what do you want to eat? I was like, let's get something around here because I want to go back out because everyone's staying out because no one had to work, you know? And she was like, she said, I don't want to be around here. I don't want to eat around here. If you're going to stay, get out.
I love me some Corey.
I got out that.
She don't miss words.
Right.
Syllables.
I got out that car. And he said,
Then that gave me a loaner
sped
car.
off.
It has turbo and it goes fast.
So that was how it went. So that was my Sunday fun day. But I was like, you know what? I'm still living my best life. So if she mad, she mad. I'll see you at the crib.
I don't care if you go out. That don't make me mad.
So yeah, so that's how we started this morning. Community. Thank you. Oh,
what did you guys get into this weekend? Nick and
Oh,
Joel.
that's not us? No. Friday, we stayed in. We didn't go out Friday night. Saturday, I did a brunch with some friends. And then we went to a friend's green card party on Saturday night.
Aw, congratulations.
Yeah.
What's your friend's name? They're not
Name's
hiding from
Travis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so he just got
awesome.
his green card. He had
Congratulations, Travis.
a red, white, and blue party, and that was a lot of fun. I wasn't feeling well, so then I took my ass back home, and Fiznik went out and carried the torch for the household. So,
Aw.
But yeah. Oh, and then she made some bread from scratch too on Sunday.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Just regular old bread, or did she put some raisins in there, or what did she do to
just
shift
the
it up?
regular one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You got like butter and
Yeah, did you put some butter on it?
yeah.
You know, when we started talking about food, we all leaned in,
Don't
put
even-
our hands on our faces, like, "Ooh, tell us more about that bread," because you know we're all like starving after the holidays.
Mhm.
The struggle's
That
for
is a
real.
true
But
statement.
yeah, so we didn't do too much. How about you guys, Dewan and Adam?
Well, I got Adam here, and he shot me a
Hi, I've
text.
been here the whole time.
This Capricorn.
So, actually, Dewan met me and my coworkers out Friday, and we had like an early dinner. Well, we had happy hour, and then we had dinner, and then we went to this karaoke bar. It was so fun.
Oh, I did see the clips you guys posted on the IG
Yeah.
story.
Dewan had his own concert.
Of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have receipts to prove it. So
Ooh, we might
And
have
you-
to
and
get
you
this
can
one.
I'll
them
share
with the world.
eventually. Yeah.
Yes.
She is not ashamed at all.
What song did you sing, Dewan? Or songs, plural?
Girl, I had picked so many songs. My throat was so sore. I could not even
Wait, for singing or for what?
karaoke.
That's a valid question, Nick.
Okay.
Oh,
Just checking.
oh,
Oh, she just got it.
You know, she old over here. It takes a minute for them words to register. No, but no, it was a lot of fun. We had our cute little private room, and they had like these books you can choose your songs from or whatever. And you know, we just plugged the songs in. Whatever came up, we sang, and they had a whole bunch of mics. So at one point, you know, all of us, like Lauryn Hill, came on, and we all were just like screaming out all of our
Which
consoles.
Which one?
Killing Me Softly?
Killing Me Softly.
Killing Me
The
Softly.
Fugees.
Look,
Yeah.
you already know.
Oh, yes.
I like how it's like Lauryn Hill. It's not even a Fuji song. It's just a Lauryn Hill song.
That's Lauryn.
Right, exactly.
Credit where credit is due.
Mhm.
You know, one time.
Right.
What song did you sing, Adam?
What was the first song I sang? I sang a few. I sang a Hootie and the Blowfish song.
Yes.
Oh,
But
really?
that wasn't
Let's
the
hear
first
it.
Of
song.
course, because you love, what's his
He-
name?
Darius
Darius
Rucker.
Rucker. I
Darius
do.
Rucker.
Yes,
Mhm.
I do. I
He's
grew up.
cute. I'm with you.
His voice is so good. I like it.
I've been along.
That's how Dewan started singing it with me, and that's how he sang it, just like that.
I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You know that '90s like Pearl Jam. Hurrah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That's too funny. That's fun, though. I haven't been to karaoke in a while. Corey
I
recently
asked him
wanted
to
to go
go. I'm
karaoke.
like, let's go rent a room, just you and I, and drink and
It's
sing.
so fun.
Yeah, it's
I
so
love
much
it.
Because I
fun.
won't do it in front of other people, but I'll do it in front of him. I can sing some Prince like no one heard. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next time we're all in the same state, we'll do it. I think that would be so much
Yeah.
fun.
I'm
Well,
down.
I found a place up here,
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
up in Buford Highway.
Okay.
okay, then. Well, we might
And
be
then-
doing our own karaoke night.
And then we went to dinner Saturday night. At some, there were some friends in town from Columbus, Ohio, and we met up with them for dinner. And then we went to this really cool like jazz spot Saturday night, and just sat there and listened to like Afro punk, Afro Latino punk jazz like all night, and it was just like a really cool experience.
Yeah, I love that. That was a good place.
Hey, Dwan, check out if it's still there in Brooklyn. It's called Pumpkins. Pumpkins. It's a really cool jazz club. See if it's still around.
Okay, yeah.
Pumpkins.
BK, stand up.
She'll put that in her notes. Yeah.
We didn't do anything. Like, I guess I did Sunday Fun Day, but we did watch AJ and the Queen. We binge watched that whole show. It was interesting.
I didn't like the first one.
Yeah, you didn't like the first
and
half
then,
of this
and then
season.
it was like if you're thinking in your head, if you're living a musical, it was like that.
It's a little corny. It's a little
quirky.
cheesy.
Yeah.
But it got
But
really good.
It's cool. Like, I think it's still worth a watch.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Given all the other stuff that's out there?
I don't know. Fiznik gave it a boot. So we watched the first episode of AJ and the Queen with RuPaul.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode might be the worst episode.
Yeah.
actually.
Really?
See,
Yeah. It gets better.
See, we
It
started
gets better
watching
in
Grace
the
and
end.
Frankie because the new episode of Grace and Frankie came out on Friday.
Okay.
So we were like, so I guess we're not gonna watch AJ and the Queen. We're gonna finish watching Grace and Frankie. We fucking love that show. I mean, we want to be that when we that's how we want to be. We just want to be like zero fucks, a hot mess, just like the two of them. It's so good.
We haven't watched that show. Like, I think
Really?
we watched an episode.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
we
That's the
watched
one with Jane
we watched
Fonda.
the first season.
And Lily Tomlin.
right?
Yeah, we watched the first season.
I
and
have seen it.
haven't watched any more of it, but I want to.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, those two girls are thriving still. We both were like, damn, I can't believe they 80 and 82. Like, the way they just killing in the show, you're just like, damn. Like,
I want Jane Fonda's doctor.
for,
that's
for
all I
real.
know.
For real. And her lawyer, because she got arrested a bunch of time last year. She's still like,
Right, she's like,
And-
I'm still on this climate change
And that's so
stuff.
funny you say that because every day I wake up and I look at the news and there's some other celebrity that I hear is gotten arrested because they're hanging out with Jane Fonda.
yeah,
Every
protesting.
day.
I'm
I
cool
know,
with it.
right?
I'm cool with it.
I'm
I'm
here
like,
for it.
go for it,
Yes,
man.
come on, climate change.
She's like, I ain't got that much time left here on Earth. I'm gonna just do what I want to do and make sure this Earth is still here for the next generations, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Jane, slide me that doctor card. Hopefully he's not your age, or he or she's not your age, because then by the time I get up there,
You
both
know,
gonna be long
have you
gone.
guys ever seen that show Botched? Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Every week.
Dr. What is it? Dr. DeBro?
Yeah.
The one that has the lighter hair? Like, he started getting fillers in his face and now he's getting the Madonna complex. So, like, the moon face
He
is
is
starting to spread and it is not
Yeah.
attractive.
No.
I know.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen this
I know.
link. Oh, that's sad.
Look, if you just Google a clip of it, on like YouTube or whatever, just to see like something from the current season, and then hold in the back of your mind what he used to look like, it's
That's not it.
not it. It's like chipmunk cheek, kind of like, and then his eyes are really kind of like weird and like.
Have you ever gotten Botox?
I have not. No.
I have not.
I'm
either.
about to.
You want Botox?
I'll do it. And don't make fun of Madonna, by the way.
You should have. Business should tell.
Madonna
Business, you should
has
say everyone
fillers.
your nightly ritual before bed.
Whatever. I just put some cream here.
Mhm.
Like, that's nothing.
He's like
No.
some cream here and there.
Is it organic cream?
Oh, okay.
Organic doesn't mean good. Let's clarify that.
Or it could be.
I get what you're saying. It took me a second to
Yeah.
process the organic cream.
Don't get this
I'm
right,
like,
Rob.
look.
Don't get this.
I had to land the plane
Yes,
real quick.
finally.
It took me a moment.
See, I'm not
We're
the
not
only
wrong
one.
there.
I'm not the only one. She had
What
to
we
put
say
3
last episode, okay, Biden.
She had to put 1 and 0 together.
I don't do that kind of stuff. No. I don't know what's that.
What is your nightly routine, Nick?
Oh, he's just joking. I just do like some. I wash my face and I put some cream. He never
You put like 3
cream.
different type of creams on, or 2.
Ooh.
Two.
See,
He said two
There
ish.
is nothing wrong with taking care of your skin, okay?
Exactly.
Dewan
No.
uses Aveeno on his face. It kills me.
What's your routine, Adam?
Oh,
What's your
I
nightly
have-
routine?
It depends on my skin's needs. How's that?
But guess
I
what?
have a whole cabinet full of stuff.
But guess who has a washcloth in the shower?
Who? But
Me.
they still say washcloths are probably the cleanest option because they say like loofahs and everything like keep all the bacteria and the germs and everything.
Yep.
So I use the I think they call them like a Japanese.
That new one you got is really nice.
I know, right?
I've been using it.
You've been using it.
I've been using it.
It smells
Marriage
good.
vibes.
It's like a
Smells
beautiful bottle. It's
Oh no, you're talking about the body wash. I'm talking about the actual thing that washes your body.
Oh.
I don't use that. I use
Yeah,
your,
okay.
your potions and lotions that you keep putting in there.
Shout out to Jarrell Owens Robinson. If I just gave you government
Oh,
names,
was
if
it
you
the
already
one?
did another
Was it the one
episode.
from Dallas? Oh, in the shower. Oh yeah, that stuff
Girl,
smells so
it smells
good.
good.
So good.
So
Is that
good.
a body one or a face?
It's a body one.
Oh,
Oh, you've been using it on your face?
I've been using it everywhere.
Okay, now all the nooks and crannies.
That oatmeal one, that's good too.
It smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we did our Dallas trip community. I think we talked about a few episodes ago, and where we stayed with Mark, Josh, and Jarrell. And Jarrell had just some really nice body washes and scrubs in the shower. So everybody that stayed there was using his stuff. It smelled so good. So I came home and went to the store and stocked up. I
What
was like, this is
brand? What
delicious.
is that?
It was just Bath and Body Works. And I was like, okay.
It's like
I
their
haven't been
men's
to Bath and-
collection. It's like their men's body wash. It smells
And they have-
really good.
Do you know anything about that?
Of course I do. I love Bath and Body Works.
It's like, duh.
Girl, we had a whole store in our apartment of Bath and Body Works.
We have
Yeah,
all the
because you
lotions
guys got
and
that
lotions.
pepper. You guys have that pepper lotion,
Lotion.
pepper butter lotion or something like that.
The pepper and pine.
Oh, girl,
Isn't that
smells so
amazing?
good.
It smells like a
That smells
freshly cut
so good.
tree.
It's pepper and body. Okay.
It's
now.
like burly, but yeah, sexy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Girl,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Just
Some good
give me
stuff.
some soap that don't have any dyes or
Ugh.
any scents in it. I don't need all of that. I don't need to smell like juices and berries. I just
Look,
want to be
she-
clean.
Find the juices and berries.
I just want to be clean.
Not the Ivory prison soap, bitch. Like, come on.
Right.
No words.
Where your skin, that shit dries your skin out. You'll get paper cuts putting your own damn clothes on.
Right. You can keep
No,
that.
ma'am.
Well, community, we're the reasons the husbands are on this episode. We're gonna do another curiosity.
Yes.
We know you guys love the curiosity segment. We'll see if we all are in relationships afterward. We'll see where some of these questions go. So if you've seen on YouTube, there's a series. Sorry, I'm just giving my husband the eye right now because he's extra loud with all these movements. But it's called Truth or Drink. And so we each bought the game.
Yes.
And we'll see where this goes. So
Yeah.
who wants to go first?
So,
Well, Jarrell, do you wanna
I'm going
give
to
the
explain the rules. So this is how
instructions?
we're going to
explain
do
the
it.
rules.
So with the game Truth or Drink, which fun fact, they are based out of here in Seattle, Washington. There are 5 different card decks in the group. I mean, in the package. We'll be playing the extra dirty package in this one.
Yes.
Ow.
But each card has 2 questions, and you can choose either the top question or the bottom question. How we'll be doing it today is we will be asking our partners a question. They could either choose to drink or they can answer the question. Each partner will have 1 chance to pass. However, if you pass, you are asked another question automatically, and you either have to answer the question or drink.
Here we go.
So that's today's format, y'all. Wish us luck.
And community, play along out there too. Like if you're with a friend right now, or even if you're by yourself, answer these questions out loud to yourself. And we'll probably put these questions up on social media somehow, so we can kind of get some answers from you guys as well.
And order the game. I think you guys will like the game. We've played it before, and it's a lot of fun.
It
I've
really
got
is.
drunk several times.
But I think the great thing about it, and if you watch the videos, like the really cool thing about it is that the game was intended to actually spark conversation. You know, so yes, it is a drinking game, but the questions that they ask across various topics of, you know, whether you're all in relationships like we all are, or if you're with a bunch of your single friends, or it's a mixed group of whatever, it's aimed at having really open and honest conversation about things that might want to be curious about. So,
So I think we should go. I think we should go in order of age. So oldest to youngest.
Okay.
No.
Well, then that's Corey.
I don't want to go first.
You want to be on the episode? We respecting our elders. Come on.
So, like, is he asking me the question first, or am I asking him the question first?
He's asking you the
Okay.
question first.
And I got to say top or bottom?
No, you only get one. He's going to ask the top question first.
Oh, and then
if you
okay.
answer that, then that's it. But
That's
if you
it.
don't, you get to pass it, and then he has to ask the second
it.
question.
Or
and
I
then
think
you either.
Better yet, I think just choose whoever's reading on the card. Just choose whether you want to answer the top or the bottom question. It doesn't always have to be the top one because sometimes the bottom one's better than the top one.
Oh, okay.
So the person reading the question,
Spoken like a.
what? You know what? Look here,
Versatile.
bitch.
Versatile.
So the
Okay.
person who's going to be asking the question, just read both questions first and then choose which one you're going to ask your partner.
Ready? Should I go now?
Uh-huh.
All right. Have I gotten sexier since you've known me?
Is he going to read both of them?
No, that's the question he's
No,
That's the
asking
question
you.
he's asking you.
Okay. Absolutely.
Tell me why.
Because, I
That
know
wasn't on
That
the
was not
that was
like-
not on the card.
that was not on the card. I'm going to tell him, too.
But I want to know.
We see what you're doing.
Fishing for them compliments. We see that girl.
Right. But yes, you have, darling. Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, that was a nice warm up. Okay, Carell, hit him
was.
hard.
Yeah, that was
All right,
easy.
here we go. Or should we go around the table?
Yeah, go around the table.
couple.
Okay.
So, Dewan, you're
Okay.
next.
All right. Do you want me to go?
He said that of age, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Tell us about a time in which a romantic partner, not me, just didn't understand to do a certain sex thing.
Cheers.
That's how you save a relationship. Good job.
I said not me. Okay. All right.
Here I go
Since you're
now.
drunk. Okay.
Huh.
Who's
Hey.
next?
All right, Phil's going to read a question for me.
Oh my God, I love this. How would you describe your nipples to a blind person? I know that's your weak point, so come on.
Why you put my
Come on
business out
now.
there? Why you
Business
Come on
all
now.
in the
I
streets.
shared that with the community now one time.
Episode 50, go big or go home.
Right.
I don't know. The life of the party, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Not the life of the party.
How would you describe your nipples to a blind person?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to like.
Like if they've
I just
never
like
seen, like
Top of field,
pepperoni,
bitch.
But right, but
read the
like,
braille.
look.
I would describe it as brown and buttery.
Oh, I know that's right, girl.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now.
I think they're
All right.
they're cute size. They're basic.
Yes, they are.
Thank you, babe.
All right, so it's my turn to ask Corey a question. Here we go. Ooh. I'm going to ask this question. And
Will I answer it?
I don't know, but it might spark a conversation just for the community and us as a whole. So here we go. Have you ever paid for sex? Even if you haven't, is there anything inherently problematic about it?
That sounds like I asked your aunties.
Well, no,
Right?
that's easy. So you get a massage, you get a happy ending. So it's basically you paid for it
Oh.
with another service.
You had a happy ending.
Massage.
You're going to get your massages at, sis.
Right.
Corral.
Right, huh?
That's where he going.
And then it's like, even if it's it, or even if you haven't, though, is it anything inherently problematic about it? That's a good question.
I don't think so. Like,
I think there's stigma. There's definitely
Yeah.
stigma associated with it. Even though it's perfectly fine, and it's
Mhm.
they don't call it the oldest profession in the world for nothing.
Absolutely.
But there's stigma. I don't think that any one of us can deny that. There's a certain bit of taboo,
Right.
around not having to, but even just paying for sex, whether you want to
Right.
or have to.
Right.
I know there's a lot.
it's your
of,
money.
And I know
I'm
that there's a
concerned,
lot
it's
of
your
women.
body.
It's
Blood.
your comb person
Right.
is your body.
Exactly.
And that too. And that too.
And there's nothing wrong with being, a sex worker, So as long as it's your choice and it's something, it's something that you're interested in doing and how you want to use your craft. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
Your talents.
Right, exactly.
Fans only.
Right.
Call it your craft.
It's like, I am so good at my craft. Thank you.
And she can sing.
$8 million served.
Right. That's funny.
All right, Adam, your turn, boo.
Okay. Who's the youngest here, by the way?
Adam, I think you are. Adam, how old are you?
I just turned 32.
Yeah, so you're younger than me by like 6 days.
All right. Oh, that's right.
Aw.
Happy belated.
Same to you, girl.
Capricorn season.
Okay.
It's about to be over.
Right.
Can't wait.
You can send a message back in time to your teenage self about sex. What advice would you impart?
Don't be so uptight. I think if I look back on like my sex having years, I have always had a very romantic.
Wait, hold on. Your sex are your years over?
Right?
When I look back over them,
Oh, gotcha.
not that they have passed, but no. When I look back on that time, I know the first part of like my early 20s, I had a lot of hangups about sex, a lot, and a very romanticized idea of just having sex with anybody that was like in a relationship or not in a relationship. And I think that definitely was a growing experience to kind of let a lot of those go. But I would definitely say, girl, just relax and have fun.
So serious. Okay.
Okay.
And community, we might have a couple more bips and bobs on the microphone. Sorry for this episode, but we're all in it. So here we go.
Oh boy.
My turn.
I don't know which one I want to ask you. They both kind of woof. I know the answer to this, but I want to see if you're going to tell everybody your answer.
Because you can tell the truth.
What is your favorite sexual position and why?
Girl.
I know we're like all hanging on like.
No, I can't talk. No. Cheers.
Go ahead, drink, girl.
Cheers.
That's such an easy one.
No. Mm-mm.
Come on.
We
Well,
can
something.
respect your craft.
I don't even know how to explain that.
Give it a
Like,
try.
people might think that I'm weird. Like,
You're an architect.
no.
You can just
Uh-uh.
turn it to
Sutra?
No. Let's leave it there.
Okay, now you guys all intrigued.
know,
like,
right?
okay, how can you not explain it?
That's the point, girl. That's the point.
Ooh, okay, he doing some brand new shit that we don't even know about.
Look, he said he puts on two-ish creams on his face
Right.
every night. So
Oh man, okay then.
Okay,
Are
we
you gonna?
respect that.
And so I guess are we gonna ask another question?
Yeah,
Is it
we're
can
gonna
we-
go around.
can we ask that question to go around the room? I'm curious.
What's your favorite position, Corey?
Me?
I know what his
My
is.
eyes closed.
Oh, he said anywhere with the eyes closed. Okay, now girl, you nasty.
Like
I'm here for it.
for like sex position?
Yes.
I like be on top.
I knew you were gonna say that. I like whatever position Corey would give it up to me at. That's what I like. I like when you're on top. Because that's like, I like.
It hurts though.
Oh, God, stop.
I can't even look you in your face
This is
now.
ridiculous.
Mom turned the episode off. You can fast
Oh my
forward
God, my mom's
15
listening
minutes.
too. I'm
Just put
sweating
that out
now.
there.
Mom, turn it off. Fast forward. Fast forward to ask your aunties. Look at the timestamps. Thank you. No, I like whatever. I say that because I like whatever makes him comfortable, because then he just gets more into it and it gets, like you see the pleasure they're having as well. So that's what I think. So that's why I think that. So anyway, DeJuan, Adam,
Doggy
if you
style.
want to share. Yeah.
That'd be number 2.
Didn't even
Honestly,
hesitate.
I like missionary. I think there's like more connection there.
I get that too.
Yeah.
I see
Those
that.
are my two.
Nah.
Sometimes you don't want the connection. Sometimes
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So,
say, who wants to be connected?
Wait, what
I don't
you
know
just do,
you.
Jarrell? You said face in the pillow?
face down, ass up. That's the way we like to.
Ooh, we're gonna have to put that question to the community too. We want to hear y'all answer.
Yes.
All right. Is it?
That's
is it our
correct.
turn?
It's Corey's.
Corey. Oh, my bad.
How confident are you in your oral sex skills? And how do you know?
I'm pretty confident. Am I getting shit? Oh, girl, don't even try it. Do not try it. Just because you're on this microphone now, do not try it. You have not been complaining at all, boo-boo. I think I'm pretty confident in my oral skills. And how would I know? I haven't had complaints, I guess, You can tell, because I think everyone has had bad moments from someone giving you oral where you're like just not in it. You can tell by the body language, and you're like, ugh. So I haven't had anyone go, or that awkward body language.
Or you ain't lost an erection, doing
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
They haven't lost an erection.
Be like Rose from Titanic. Come back. Come back.
Why did you hold your hands like that?
But when you think of oral, do you just think of like mouth to penis, or do you think about like eating ass?
I'll
Ooh,
eat
no,
an
no.
ass. That's
I know
disgusting.
Corey does not like that at all.
It's dirty.
Like he gets,
not
I'm
nasty.
like, sit on my face, girl. I don't give a damn. But no, I think, probably most people probably think oral is just like mouth to genitalia, but I think almost oral is just like almost the whole body experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's, nipples and all the above. Man, Mom, please turn this off. Please turn this episode
Look,
off.
she gotta
My
grow up
sister and brother
sometime.
too, if y'all listening. Oh,
Come
Lord.
on, Miss Revis. She's probably like,
I
ooh,
can't.
taking notes. Let me try this.
Oh no, I
This
cannot.
comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah. Next.
Next.
Hey, Cheryl.
Right?
I ain't doing you up, boo.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. What is the last inanimate object you put inside yourself or another person?
Wait, inanimate object. That would be you.
But what was
was
the
that a
object? What was the object was the first question.
Right. I don't know if that was a read or.
Right?
Do you need me to ask it again?
Huh?
What was the last inanimate object you put inside yourself or another person?
Your dick.
So your dick is an inanimate object.
Wait. Is it asking like
I think it's excluding genitalia.
I think so too.
So it would be like, like a dildo or a cucumber or...
a cucumber?
You did?
I don't know. Like,
Why?
I mean, DeJuan be traveling,
does a
so
finger
it makes
count?
sense sometimes.
You gotta make do.
Does a finger count?
We'll give you that.
Okay,
one.
we'll give that to
We'll
you.
give
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I would say that.
But he said, DeJuan.
Didn't hesitate.
Jawan, of course.
Okay, good sir.
That's too funny.
Okay, what's the weirdest porn that you've ever clicked on?
Oh, Lord.
Come on.
The weirdest porn that okay, and I have to be honest. There's been so many. Because when you go to the porn sites, it just show a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, because
I don't know
she's
her.
Mother Teresa over there.
Right.
Over there knitting.
Talking about her face in the pillow, though.
The weirdest porn I ever clicked on.
I think I'm so vanilla in my porn. Like I'm sitting here like
I can't.
But you know what?
I can't even think of a weird one.
Probably like some. Okay, I'm gonna admit this, and I'm not proud of it. And it didn't do anything for me. I'm just giving you that whatever. But I've seen some bestiality things
Oh, I've seen some
with
of that.
Yeah.
like
Never
horses, with
Yeah.
like pythons.
Ew! Oh my god!
Python.
Yes,
Well, you've seen a lot, Dewan.
I've seen a
Not just
couple.
one, huh?
I've seen a couple.
Clearly.
I'm just like that's the weirdest.
Look at Jarrell's face.
And you didn't like it, did you?
Girl.
No, but it was there, and I was just like, okay, I
That
want to
kinda
see
thing
what
is
that.
more of like a curiosity.
Yeah.
If it's there, you're like, oh, let me see.
No, I get it because it does pop up, but I've never clicked on it.
I just had to. I was just like,
Yeah, so that was like
Okay.
that was like me
It was-
and your picture you sent last
right.
week.
It was like you last week with the picture I sent you.
It's like, bitch, I'm gonna click on it.
Exactly.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, that
All
that
right,
would be like
Jarrell
the
and
weirdest
Nick.
thing.
All right, Nick, your turn, babe.
She's reading it. She's making
Yes. Oh, no.
Okay, the first
Oh,
one,
he got happy.
I don't like it.
He sat straight up for this, y'all. Just so
He
you
sure
know.
did.
So it says, if we were in a porn together, what category would be filled under?
Ooh.
I mean, of course, one, it will be interracial.
Yeah.
Then the other filter will probably have to do something with like big butts, because of me. And then one filter would have to be daddies because of you.
Oh, wow. Zaddy status. Ow. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be definitely.
I have a follow up to that question. Would it
Go
be
ahead.
would it be just be straight up fucking, or would it be like would there be a storyline? And if there was a storyline, what would that storyline be?
Oh, ain't
The
no storyline.
that I asked you yesterday, right? That would be
What storyline?
me coming from work.
Oh,
He started out.
Let's all
Okay,
skip
so
into
you want to put
this
your
one.
business out there? You want to put your business out there? Okay, so hold on. Okay, so here we
Community,
go.
let's
So
remember
we're shopping.
community just no more than 5 minutes ago, she was not willing to answer the question about sexual
Right.
positions, but she got
It's
lubed
like,
up
that's
now.
she feeling all right now.
Girl, I
Right.
had two drinks now, so
Yeah.
So we're shopping. We're shopping yesterday. And she's like, basically goes, you know, you'd be so hot in some red stilettos. Like, I just want to fuck you in some red stilettos.
Okay.
with
now.
some red lipstick on. I don't know what it is
Oh.
about it, but just
Oh.
some stilettos, red stilettos at that, and some red lipstick. He's like, you just be home waiting for me, just like that.
6-inch heel.
right, that song in the background. Yeah, she got me. You see?
Yes. Okay. Now.
So that's
Y'all
your
need to
storyline,
make
but
that
I'm
come
like,
to
get
life.
to the punch.
That's a
Exactly.
fantasy
Go
that
get
can
the pumps,
easily
Nick.
yes.
Go and buy them pumps for her.
Look, Jarrell, all you got to do is hop right across the street over there to D. Sherrell's. You know they got some red pumps over there. You can throw the mugs on.
But you know, those are church clothes, though. Those the Holy Ghost pumps, though. You know,
Right.
they got a
2-inch
3-inch max. They got a 2-inch, 3-inch max on them exactly.
Them kitten heels. Deaconess Jarrell. Come on, Deaconess.
I'm gonna fuck the Holy Ghost out of you.
Woo, Jesus. Mom, turn this episode off.
All right, Biznick, describe the present state of your pubic hair.
Oh,
I mean,
The present state.
The community can't see your fingers,
yeah,
honey. You gotta use your
I'm
words.
trying to measure it. I forgot that I'm on camera with these guys because I was just going to pull it and see, like,
Oh,
okay. I don't know, maybe less than half an inch, I would say. Yeah,
This is
somewhere
all
there.
time for a trip.
she's an architect. She know how long it is. She know how long
Right.
it is.
You know, she knows. She knows.
Yeah, that's what I was like,
centimeters and
okay.
She's like one.
So-
She's like one knuckle deep.
That sounds about like Barbie
One knuckle
bangs.
deep.
Oh, Lord.
I'm hot.
Okay, I'm saying I'm
I
sweating.
know.
Mm-mm.
I'm fine.
You cool, calm and collected.
We need to get see. You need to pull
All right,
that
Kerel,
card
it's your
for
turn. Yeah,
Corey.
Kerel, it's your turn to
Okay.
ask him a question.
Okay. All right. Ooh, both of these are good. Ooh, I don't know which one. Let me think for a second. Are you more experimental? Man, that's a hard word to say.
No.
Are you more experimental or less experimental than the average person? Ooh,
Less.
that's a tongue twister.
Say that again.
Less.
So it's trying to say, are you more like experimental or less experimental as a person? But they put the sex and combine the two words. So sexperiential, mental, or less experimental, which is hard for me to say than the average person. And you said what?
Less.
I would agree with that statement.
I'm sorry.
Very vanilla.
How about
He's-
y'all?
yes.
Duane and Adam,
very
y'all
kinda just-
less or more?
What's
I didn't
that?
hear the question.
Sexperimental. Are you less or more sexperimental?
I would say more. I'm open. I like to try new things.
Yeah, I need a little help in that department.
Yeah. Slut.
Well, you know.
That's the same way with Corey and I. Like, I'm more open than he is.
That's nasty.
What about you, Jarrell and Nick? You said what? It's just nasty. What about you, Nick and Jarrell?
I think we're good. We're good. We're good, boo.
We need Nick on here more often. Nick cracked me up.
I would say we're more. I would definitely say we're more.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like get to that? How do you try it?
You just
You
try
just
it.
try
I'm
it.
nervous. I can't even say it.
It makes you nervous.
Yeah, like, how do you open up like that much?
There's these breathing exercises, so it's like, no, I'm kidding.
see.
Dread,
I honestly-
3, 1, 2, 3, I'm going.
Are you
No,
not
okay. First of all, it is not like that. That is
Community,
no.
the gestures that Nick is doing right now is Nick.
You know what?
That is not how that goes.
I think the answer is 2 drinks.
right, 2 drinks.
Oh,
You know,
Lord.
I would say, because I can relate, Corey, because if you remember the first question was asked to me, it was like, what would I say to my first, to like my 20-year-old self or whatever. And for me, it's about perception. Like I have preconceived ideas about like what that is, and I put judgment on it. And so there are things that naturally I'm aroused by and that interest me, and things that I don't want to have anything to do with that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's out there that other people kind of get into. But for me, there's like a block there.
Yeah,
that-
it's like it's like keep it a fantasy almost.
Yeah.
In your own mind.
Mhm.
Like,
but never really act on it.
It's almost more like intense because of that.
Yeah, I was kind of like that too, and then Fizznet taught me a lot as far as
Girl,
just-
please.
Okay, now.
Girl, please. I was innocent. Come on. I am still.
See, we got this recorded
We
now.
saw
I
that.
got
We saw
that.
that fisting gesture.
Was okay. You saw the fisting gesture she did. Talking about innocent. It was like it was a
Jesus.
plane taking off in my whole or something. She tried it.
Right. Punch you to the next room.
Right.
Okay,
Do we want
Corey,
to go
what
one
you
more,
got?
I already asked.
one more round through?
You can't be pulling like 9,000 cards.
That was already asked.
Oh, it was already asked.
That's nasty.
Come on now, man. Got all day.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Name the person here you'd most like to hook up with,
You. You.
but
See.
haven't.
You.
It says but haven't.
Oh, but I have no. I can't. None of my aunties are they partners. Next question.
You got a drink.
Okay.
Okay. So
Right.
you gotta tell me twice.
Next question.
All right.
I'll do.
Duane, you're up, boo.
I'll go. Okay, this is a follow-up to not this last one, but the question before that.
Oh, great.
Adam, what is a sexual thing you've never been able to try but wish you could? Mr. Experimental.
Donkey
Wait.
sex.
hide your animals. No, I'm so kidding. I'm not into that at all. I don't know. That's like a subjective question, I guess.
It's pretty straightforward. What's a sexual thing you've never been able to try, but wish you could? Pick one of any of those things that you're very experimental with.
And Dewan will make it happen.
I'll make it happen.
Okay, now.
I already gave out too much. I'm taking a drink.
No, you can't take a drink on that. Come on now. Inquiring minds want to know. You got people pulled over on the side of the road.
Dewan wants to know.
Right,
She
Dewan
said
wants
inquiring minds. Dewan wants to know.
Adam, this is what you do, boo. You whispered in his ear tonight when y'all lay in the bed, be like, "This is what I want."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll
Meanwhile,
do it.
he'll be out snoring already.
I got a follow up question, but maybe it's not a follow up. I just want to know Physics answer. What would be your answer to that
I don't
question?
know. I was thinking about that, but damn.
I know. It's a loaded question.
He already told you. He said he want to see you in them damn pumps, girl.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, go to that Mac counter, get that red lipstick,
Right.
Get you some Jimmy Choos and call it a day. Who has the next question? Is it Adam to Dewan?
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Okay. What's the most surprising discovery you've made about your own body?
I'll pass on that. I don't really have a surprise about my body.
That's easy.
What's yours?
What?
Nipples.
What about them?
Direct wire to my thing.
Oh, see,
But I
mine
mean,
aren't.
that's not a surprise. You already know that answer.
That's why I was surprised when I found out.
Yeah. That makes, that's something.
I was
Yeah, I don't have a
surprised
good
when I
answer
found
for that.
out.
Ask me another one.
Ask you another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said the first time I found out, I was very shocked.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I would say how fast I gained weight after 40, but
Girl,
that's not a
Girl,
surprise
you have
either.
not gained weight at all. Like maybe 5 pounds.
Too
He's
many.
lost weight since I met him in Chicago.
Seriously, I agree. You're skinnier than when I first met you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Anyways. So he wants me to ask him another question.
Yes.
So
Okay.
where is the strangest place you've had sex?
You bet not drink that juice. You bet not drink your juice, Shelby.
I'm
Don't
not.
do it.
Look, I'm 100% in open book, so I'm not like shying away from questions. Back in the day, when I didn't have a car, oh my God. So my friend used to pick me up and we would go out to the clubs in Cleveland. I lived in the southeast suburbs at the time, so it was a pretty far drive. And at the end of the night or whatever, they played that one song, "Nobody's supposed to be here." That one.
Deborah Cox?
Deborah
Yes,
Cox. Come on,
yes.
Debbie Cox.
They always close the club down with that song.
Which is fitting that her last name is Cox. Okay, where are we going with it?
And I was like kind of like seeing this guy at the time. So I would get a ride with my friend. We'd meet there, and then I would meet up with him. We'd hang out all night. Then my friend would take the two of us back to his place, but he lived with his grandma, so we would go to his grandma's back porch, screened porch, and fool around while my friend waited in the car. Every time.
At the grandma crib.
Grandma's crib. And I would come back out and he goes, "What took you so long?" "Nothing." That's my clothes.
Not the
But I would
grandma
say,
screened in
yeah,
porch.
grandma screened in porch. Not mine, but
Poor
his.
grandma.
Yeah, she never knew.
Ooh, oh, you thought she didn't know.
Right?
I think that's a good question for all of us.
Okay, Corey, where's the strangest place you've had sex?
In a field, ABC, carpet and home in the bathroom, New York.
He got a plethora. Talking about how sex experimental.
Yeah, right.
She pulled out her phone because she has the
Couple
Evernote.
times at work,
Right.
on the roof in Queens.
Oh my
in the apartment
God.
building. Ooh.
Now this is a very interesting from somebody who claims to be very vanilla,
In
Well, I didn't
fact,
say I was doing weird things.
but having
He
sex
said it was
out in the public is
Well, that's not like sex.
It's
sex, but
commonplace.
just fooling around. Yeah,
okay.
not the nasty.
What,
Not
just
penetration.
Yeah, stuff like that. No penetration. Yeah.
Oh, no penetration. Oh, okay.
I'm
So
trying
it's
to
a
think,
little
what's
sucky
my
sucky.
weirdest spot?
Oh, okay.
Where's
She was
yours,
doing what
girl?
they were doing in that barn when we went
Oh.
to Chicago.
I think there too.
I'm
my God.
I'm sure.
How could we forget about that? In the
Absolutely
stable.
positive. That's how I knew what that place was.
That's where we met.
The quietest,
That's not where we met.
amongst other things.
Oh,
What
where's
about you?
mine? That's
Boo.
a good question. Probably the one that sticks out in mind is Lord, is actually in Chicago. There's like a boat dock out there.
You told me about that one.
And we were having sex out there underneath this tree by like the boat dock, like, and it's just like wide open, like people just walking by. But then it was in the middle of the summer, so mosquitoes were heavy, so we were getting eaten alive.
While
we're
you was
like-
eating the ass.
Oh, it was right. It is what it is. So that's the one that I remember that stands out most, just because it was just kind of funny in hindsight, because we were literally getting eaten alive, like we were like swatting. Oh my God, it was too much. That was when I lived in Indiana, and I would go to Chicago. So that's probably the one that stands out. So it's not that bad, but it's, I guess, out and open.
What about Fiznik? What was you, Fiznik?
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I was not working at this place like now because I don't want problems, but it was a construction site. Ish.
Yeah, come up through fantasy.
Walking home, and we were like, oh, empty space, whatever. Let's try this. Yeah, that would be the weirdest place.
For me, it was like some person's random front lawn.
Some persons.
Next to their gnomes.
Right.
We were walking. It was Minneapolis. We were walking around Lake Calhoun at night because you can get like a really good view of the skyline too from the lake, and it was like by the car where we were parked at, but like it was a small 2-door car, so there was like no room, so we just went on the person's lawn right there outside, right by the car. Yeah.
I'm sitting here now, just literally thinking, I'm like, oh my God, all the people that I know that is listening to this episode. Oh my God, this is embarrassing a little bit.
But you know
It's
what?
fine.
Like,
Everyone does it. Come on.
But not everybody talks about it on a podcast.
but you know what? At the end of the day, again, we just got finished talking about, how you use your craft. There's no shame in your game.
None.
So
That's true.
let's just get all the skeletons out and, have a little bit of fun with it. So,
But you know who didn't answer the question? That was Adam. So
Oh, God.
I know, trying to slide away.
You were supposed to forget that.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Open.
It was in the parking lot of a Walmart. It was my early 20s, okay?
Yes.
Come on, Super Walmart.
that is the most Indiana thing I have heard.
That is an
It
Indiana
really
thing for
is.
sure.
It really is. Oh my
Girl, you
gosh.
probably know the
Shimmy the
Walmart too.
shoulders.
It was in South Bend, right by the
It was.
bypass.
I know what you're talking
I know
about.
which one it is. That's funny.
The Walmart you
Oh.
pass on your way to Chicago to go have sex. Yeah. Next,
and mine
next,
was, it was Market Days weekend too. I remember that it was Market Days weekend. I went for Market Days. Anyway, I'm just reminiscing. But I got my boo now.
I was married now.
right?
I was married now.
Something.
That
All
was
right,
fun.
Nick and Jarrell, is this the last one or are we done? I think you're the third round.
Are we
You're the
still?
third part in the round, right?
You can answer whatever you want. Or you pick a
I know. So
Bring it on home.
it says true or false. Great sex requires a connection beyond physical attraction. Explain your thinking.
Thinking.
I don't know. I think false. I mean, I think you can have great sex without being more than physical attracted to someone. Like if you're just physically attracted to them, you can have great sex. I think it can magnify it if you are more than I don't know.
Wait, read the question again.
So the question is, true or false, great sex requires a connection beyond physical attraction. Explain your thinking. No, I'm going to say no.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no.
too.
Yeah, because I think it's great when you have something beyond physical with your significant other. But that's something that's unique, especially between those two, which may be something boring to other people.
Right.
Like, I think the great depends on a multitude of things, and it can also just be simply just physical connection.
I agree with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Physic, my question to you is, what's the maximum number of people you'd be interested in having sex with at once?
Okay, now let's bring it on with a big one. Okay, now.
Over 10 for sure.
I'm not mad at it.
She said, as long as they're wearing heels.
Right.
Yes. Come through, Bukkake.
That lip gloss is popping.
Cocky.
I love the confidence with that answer, too. She didn't even hesitate. She just said, oh,
Didn't
already
skip
know.
A, B. Didn't skip A, B.
yes.
Oh, well, that was fun.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And thank you guys for
community,
joining
hopefully
us.
you got some answers too. We'll have to put some of these questions out there to see what the community says, because I'm sure we'll get some interesting questions and stories. Spill all the tea on that one.
Yes.
And Mom, you can listen now.
Come back.
Come back, Cheryl.
Come back.
Oh, man. Well, husbands.
You're welcome.
I'll be back.
Yeah, don't forget to thank us for opening up the show. By the way.
Oh, yes. And thank you
Yes,
to our
and thank you guys.
to our
Bruce.
husbands for opening the show.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
thanks
guys
for
did a
opening
great
the
job.
show. I love you, babe.
You guys did a good
Thanks.
job. Thank you for doing
We've
it.
all
Now I'm gonna go
practiced
do
that
my
open.
multi skincare steps.
See you
I'm gonna go
guys.
fantasize about something.
Okay. I'll be ready. I'll be off.
all right.
We'll be done shortly.
Bye, guys.
I'll be done by the
Bye.
time you're done.
He'll probably be in there snoring. Oh, man. Well, that was
fun.
cute.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you, Truth or Dare, for that fun
Ooh.
game.
Definitely.
Truth and drink.
Yes,
Truth and drink. Yes. Woo, man. I didn't know some of these questions was going to be like that.
But you
I
know
wasn't
what?
ready.
You know what, though? I'm glad we stuck with these because those other ones were relationship killers.
Woo.
Yes, they were.
Community, we were so worried. Like, we looked at some of these cards in the other decks. And if y'all have played this game, this is my first time playing the game. I've watched the YouTube series. But some of them questions, bitch.
Yeah.
And
So-
we already opened the show, but Corey saying he was already angry with me. So,
So here, I'm just going to read a couple of the questions just so that you guys get a sense of what we tried to avoid. And you could think about how you and your significant other might answer these questions if you dare. What do you wish I just shut up about? Do I often seem like I'm being fake? What problem do you think I'm successfully hiding from everyone, but it is actually completely obvious?
oh,
Do you see us as equals?
oof.
What have I ruined for you?
That's the one you sent to the group. That I was like, what? I was like, not. Mm-mm.
I
can't.
can't. Mm-mm.
I can't even.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope. No, we weren't getting into that.
Not today, Jesus.
Not when
No.
drinking was optional. Now, if drinking was like mandatory, I don't know. Even then, those are some pretty deep ones,
Too deep for me.
right?
Mm-mm.
Like I don't even know. Can you even have that conversation? Okay, forget partners. Like, because this game is for like anybody, like a group of friends
Yeah.
or whatever, But like, do you think that you could ask that question to like friends and
Or
then
your parents.
or parents
or-
and
Woo.
and come away not feeling personally attacked?
That-
I mean, I
that's
think-
a question that's hard to not get your emotions into.
Yeah, I think those are one of the questions that like basically force you to actually drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Yes.
know what's up, if you value the relationship, you gonna take that drink.
Right. Absolutely. But that's one of those questions that might come up again. Like, it might spark something in that other person. Be like, no, you're not getting away with this. Like
Right.
Off camera or whatever. Like,
we need to talk about
what
it.
have I ruined for you?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh shit, we need to go see a therapist right now.
And that just goes back to the fact that a lot of us have lost, and I count myself included in this, a lot of us have lost the ability to communicate effectively with other people.
Right.
Because I think if you are, like a generation older and ask these questions, you might, and I'm speculating, but you might be a little bit more comfortable answering them because you've been forced to communicate. We communicate through text, so everything is short, sweet, and to the point ish. Or with a lot of subtext, with emojis and all that kind of bullshit. Not willing to risk it tonight.
I don't have the tool set yet to answer that one in an intelligent way to gain something from.
Right, we need Iyanla to come facilitate that conversation.
Somebody.
Not on my watch.
Ooh,
what did she call that one girl? She said, and Tasha is a gutter snipe. Bitch.
Y'all be coming with it. Y'all knows how to get the truth out and still sell tickets for the TV show.
I know. She had people like speaking into dirt holes and carrying bricks around and all kinds of like stuff, but she gets to it.
I guess so.
she told.
I remember the dirt hole one. I remember the dirt hole one.
remember when they had the Braxtons on and she said, "Now who gets to check Tamar?" And
it was a valid question, though.
Yes.
And like her mom and Tamar are like the same human being.
Yes.
I was like, "Woo, that was a good episode." Oh man. But okay, community, you've hung out with us this long in the episode. We still got another segment that you enjoy. And what is it?
Ask your auntie.
Turn up now. And let's see, who has that one? I don't have it.
I have it up right here.
Ow.
Okay. This one comes from our girl Brandon Brandon Jackson out in Twin Cities. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, girl.
And she's asking a question. She had a whole series of questions that she submitted. We're just now getting to a couple of them. But this one says, I'm trying to change from my previous path and tried the whole dating for 90 days before having sex thing. Is it worth it, or am I setting myself up for disappointment?
To not have sex for 90 days?
Yep. To date and not have sex for the first 90 days.
Ooh. I think it goes to what you need. I guess if you're saying the track that you previously had always started with sex and it messed you up emotionally and everything like that, then yeah, I think it's worth it to try something new. But if you don't have it connecting to the sex part, I mean, I don't know, 90 days, that's a long time. But actually, now I think about it, Corey and I didn't sleep together for a little while before we slept together. Like it was a couple weeks actually before we even slept together. So I mean, if it's something, if you feel kind of some spark at the beginning, it might be worthwhile waiting, I guess. Ultimately, do what works for you mentally, emotionally, physically, honestly. And if you connected the dots saying, every time I start dating, I hook up and it messes with me, then yes, I think 90 days, 120, whatever the set period doesn't, I guess, matter as much. But at least now you're connecting those dots and wanting to do something different. But ultimately, you got to do what works for you and what you're emotionally, sexually mature enough to handle.
I'm curious what you think, Jarrell, because you said your MO when you were dating people was not to have sex until you knew it was like legit or something to that effect.
So for me, I don't know. I think it's great to wait. And I just say that just because, sex can, if it's great, it can fuck up your mind and you start missing things. Yeah, right. You be digmatized and you be missing things and you could possibly be in it for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good to wait. And then that way, and to be honest, I also say don't be excited about no relation until after the 90-day period. Just like when you get a job and you got your 90-day, like,
Right.
you know, you wait till your 90-day review. I do the same thing with relationships.
Your 30, 60, 90 plan.
Yeah, exactly. After 90 days, then you celebrate something. Then you get excited about something. But
Yeah.
before then, I just say wait. It's still too fresh. People can still change their mind. And then make it be a celebration, you know, boom. You know, you give them the milk and cookies after the 90 days, you know, 90 days, 91 days.
Him
You be like, boom,
downstairs.
celebration.
Getting the milk and cookies.
You know. I mean, we waited 4 months. 5 months. We waited 5 months. So.
And then he was in there with the fister.
Not even close.
What are you thinking, Dewan?
I don't believe in like hard and fast rules per se. When it comes to like dating and relationships, because I believe really strongly that everybody is different, and every encounter with a different person has its own rules of engagement. I do, however, think that if what someone has been doing, you know, they're looking for a change to shake it up for them. I don't think that there's anything wrong with waiting 90 days before having sex with somebody. I think kind of going back to the conversation we had last week about, you know, dating for the purpose of a relationship versus dating for the experience. I think there's a lot of people out there that just date without really, you know, being interested in a relationship. So I would imagine this person would find it difficult when they are dating to find somebody that's on the same kind of like wavelength to not only invest in kind of that 90-day commitment, but also like just, you know, like interested in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, so, but at the end of the day, you can't be worried about what other people are doing and what they're interested in. You have to be worried about what you're doing and what you're interested in. And what I surmise is that this is a cleansing activity.
Yeah.
Just to say, you know what, I've been doing this for a minute. I feel like I want to try something different. I've heard, you know, or I can see value in, you know, just waiting a while.
It's also a good way to make your whole snatch back, you know, be born again.
Shut up. It's whole training. It's like waist trainers, but whole
you know.
I can't with you.
That's how you get your feeling back. You know, wait 90 days, girl. You might get, you know.
You stupid.
Not even.
Oh my god.
But on top of that, look, I agree with the one. I don't think there's a real time limit. The only time limit that you should be paying attention is to the 2 weeks that the doctor tell you to make sure you wait until the next time you have sex.
Shut up.
That's the only time period. That's the only.
Got jokes tonight.
That's the only time period that matters. In those 2 weeks, bitch. Look, don't fuck it up.
That is true statement. That is a true statement. Lord Jesus. But ultimately, it's your life. Do what works for you now. Like, I think that's the one thing as I've gotten older. It's just like, it's okay to change. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you feel like the old ways of what you were doing isn't working for you now, change it. It's your life. It's okay. And communicate what your new needs are. You know, It is what it is.
I agree.
I agree. I think if somebody's asking that question, I have to assume that they're evaluating the value that they're putting on sex over what they're probably more interested in, which is a long-term sustainable relationship. And this is more an action for them to really put the focus and the prioritization, not on the sex part, you know, and getting in the sheets with the person, but actually getting to know them. And so if 90 days is what you feel is going to help you to get to know other people as kind of like a line in the sand,
90-day fiance,
right? Then, you know, then I say go for it. But as a general rule, there's no rules in dating. You know, the only rule that you have is to do what feels right for you and that doesn't hurt others in the process.
And feels right for your hole and doesn't hurt your hole completely.
Right.
That's what I took out of that. Okay, thank you. But thank you for sending that question. And continue to send your questions in, by the way. We need some more Ask Your Aunties, and it could be for all wide range. Clearly, we're an open book.
Clearly.
After this episode, y'all gonna know all our business. Dear Jesus. But continue to send those in. DM on social media or Ask Your Auntie, our email and things like that. It's all out on social media. So, and if you don't want to put your name on the question, we'll say anonymous. So don't feel scared to put your name out there because we could easily say anonymous for it. So,
Absolutely.
And continue to subscribe, download, share, and all that good stuff as well. We say that every episode, and it helps us out with our numbers and our algorithms and all that stuff to keep us on the air.
Yes.
Oh, man. But what else y'all got going on right now? Did you guys, we haven't talked about it, but did you guys see that RKelly thing, the part 2 a couple weeks ago?
I ain't seeing it. I ain't watching it.
Yeah,
Cancel. Look, I'm so done with RKelly. For my mother's own 50th birthday, I made sure RKelly wasn't on the goddamn playlist. And you know, the older folks still be stepping in the name of love, but I said, not today.
Not here.
No.
Yeah, no, I always said in an episode last year where I was like, I had my one last good, okay, I'm going to listen to every R. Kelly song I want to, get out my system, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have my mourning period because at the end of the day, he writes some good ass songs, but it's upsetting to know what he wrote these songs for and the reasoning and why they came about now. And once you know that, it's hard to separate the two.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, but I did watch the second documentary, and it was just interesting how they kind of gave the follow up of what happened when the first one was airing. All the way down to, and spoiler alert, if you want to watch the R. Kelly, I'm about to spoil something, so I'm going to give you a moment to fast forward. You can fast forward right now. But it was interesting how they showed that the premiere night of the first documentary last year, like a bomb threat got called into the premiere.
Yeah.
And so this is literally the extent that they're trying not to get some of this information out there, that someone literally called in a threat. They couldn't even do the premiere. They all the families were there, all the producers were there, the media was there, and they had to leave the building because a threat got called in, and it canceled the premiere.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. So it's just like, clearly somebody don't want something out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then just more women have come forward, more stories have come forward, and it all stems from, the sad part is that he was also abused as a kid.
Yeah.
Sexually abused, and so a lot of times, especially in the POC communities, we hush and try to cover up stories and try to cover up things because we don't want our uncle to go to jail. We don't want to destroy more families and this and that. And the cycle continues, and it becomes generational prison, honestly. And they don't know how to break the chains of this. And so clearly he hasn't ever gotten help for it. And now he's ruined, at this point, it almost seems like hundreds of girls and then their extended families. And just the reach of this is insane to me. So it's sad. It's sad all around.
I think what they did that was interesting with this second season is they took more of an unbiased, objective look at the process, of seduction and why it happened. So, whereas I was really frustrated with the Michael Jackson documentary because of it was so biased against Michael Jackson. And I'm not condoning what he did or what's alleged against him. But the way that the documentary was filmed in a way that was really trying to paint a picture and didn't provide. I just felt like the focus was off. And that's why I appreciated the Oprah segment afterwards, because she put the focus, although using the topic of the Michael Jackson stuff as the foundation, she really used that as a platform to talk about what does abuse look like. And the seduction that happens, that it is a cycle of abuse, that these people usually have kind of a fucked up relationship with sex to begin with that skews their point of view. And that is not an excuse for their behavior, but it helps people to start to recognize the signs. And I felt like this series, like the first 2 episodes, they were doing a lot of talking about his background and that he was sexually abused and all this. And at first I was just like, are they trying to justify? Are they trying to I wasn't understanding it. But by the end I was like, okay, now I get it. They're actually painting a picture of what seduction looks like. And particularly within a Black community, Black and brown communities, we're already so disenfranchised with so many other things, but we're also taught to lie and we're taught to hide, these kinds of things that are quote unquote embarrassing, or that's, your dirty laundry, and you're never supposed to air it for a lot of different reasons. And I really appreciated that they took that head on. Yeah. Because I felt like the first season was more of like the bombshell, like allegations of getting people who were impacted by this and who saw it firsthand just get their stories out unfiltered. But this one was more about the process.
Yep. I agree.
I don't think you learn anything new, in this, which was kind of frustrating, because it's like, okay, well then why do it? But then once you see that it really kind of helps to articulate that story. And it also shared, I guess the new parts of it was that it shared a little bit more about some of the people who were directly impacted. So the one, I forget what the girl's name was, but the one that RKelly made dressed like a boy, and they actually
was it like Dominique or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. And
Alexa.
But they saved her from the Hilton.
Yeah, right.
They saved her from the Hilton or whatever in the first season. And so they actually did a look back on that from her perspective and brought her in and had her kind of like share her personal story, which I thought was really interesting.
And even with her, it was just interesting how the seduction piece is covered up in this false veil of love and this false veil of wanting to stick up, especially in her case, because it was 3 girls that were in the situation together. So it was almost like this false veil of, I'm trying to protect them as well. Like, I feel like I've let them down now that I left the situation,
right,
which was heartbreaking. And I was like, wow. And I never thought about it that way. Like, everyone kind of thinks they're like, bitch, get out of there.
Right.
But it's not that simple. It's like, especially if you feel like you're in love with this human being and they have a seduction over you and providing for you. So you almost feel like, if I leave, what the hell am I going to do with my life?
Right.
And then you're with 2 other girls where it's almost a sisterhood within it. And they're all checking each other, trying to make sure they're in line and you're in line and this and that. It's wild. And so to hear her actually say that, you're like, whoa, I never thought about it from that perspective at all. And I could see how that emotionally scars you and you don't know how to get out.
And we saw the videos that Jocelyn had released when her and the other girl got into the fight, and she's just like, this guy had us up there lying. We was just like, we showed our ass on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts and blah blah blah. Like, not Robin Roberts, sorry. Gail King, thank you.
Yep. Robert.
That's what it was in my head. But it's just now that he's removed from the epicenter of that cult, I'll just call it what it is. The walls of that hold that he had on these people are starting to break down, and a lot more people are starting to come through. So
I don't know. I guess I ain't seen it. I don't give a fuck about seeing it. The only thing I want to see is the justice at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care about the trauma and the traumatic experiences that the girls that went through are going to have to go undo, because now that is their personal journey that they need to be working on. And I honestly don't think being in a spotlight is doing that any justice. So I'm tired of the documentaries and giving these ladies spotlight to be and famous and to be put on in spotlight for something so negative, instead of focusing on themselves to undo all the stuff that was done to them. But
I think the one thing they did good about that, though, from that angle, is they felt like literally there was a new girl that came out and they call her almost like person 1. Literally, she's like, it's been 30 years of my life that no one has listened to me. And she's like, it literally took this documentary for someone to finally believe me. She's like, I'm getting hate mail. I'm getting death threats. She's like, just because people think it's this 15 minutes of fame.
And that's
she's like, no.
great. That's absolutely
she's
great.
Like, I'm utilizing this because people are finally hearing me.
That's not everyone. And the other thing, the part that I don't like about it is that there are regular ass people that this shit is happening to that this could also be having the exact opposite effect on them. Like not being afraid. Like, for instance, the justice part is going to what encourages people to get out of their situations. That's going to have more of an impact than trying to put people in a spotlight that have not dealt with their own healing, or even putting in people in the spotlight that have been getting death threats and stuff like that.
But do you think the justice would occur if this documentary came? Or I think, honestly, I don't think so. I think R. Kelly would still be in Chicago.
Oh, I'm not talking about
with these little girls.
The first one was enough. The second one, I don't think needs to be happening because of all the shit that happened after the first one. Like, he was already arrested.
You mean the second documentary?
No, the first documentary that came out, the one that we talked about at the beginning of last year. Like, so much has happened to put those wheels in motion. I felt like the second one was more for a publicity thing than it was to try to make justice happen. Because it's not, the wheels were already in motion before the second one came out. Like him being arrested, all that stuff was already in motion. That's my part one. My other part two that makes this even more upset to me is that, like, the spotlight of this happening, there are two powerful men right now that this is happening to, him and Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't even talking, people talking more about R. Kelly, but they're not talking about the fact that Harvey Weinstein's jury selection has 8 men and 6 women selected to the jury selection. Already more so in that man's favor. And all the other shit that he's been doing along the lines, going to court with fucking 7 cell phones, answering calls, while he's in the fucking court, and all the rest of that stuff. Like, the bigger picture of the situation when it comes to men and their power, they're playing this game right now between there's a black man and a white man happening. And I just don't like how there's 2 separate things happening. It needs to be all one big thing.
But I guess from my perspective, it's not even really about them. It shouldn't be. I think that's part of the story. Is like, for years, women feel like they have not been heard or seen in these situations, and we're still putting the projection on R. Kelly.
Oh, no.
Harvey. Hold on,
justice is not the story for them. No, I want to put this real quick and not the words in my mouth.
I let you speak.
I'm talking about justice. Justice is not about talking about them.
I was going to get to that.
But that's what my whole point was.
But I was going to get that if you let me finish.
But when you talk about my point was only that.
Let me get to your. I was going to get there, Jarrell.
Okay. Just so we all clear.
Girl, I was clear, but you cut me off. Here we go. My point is I understood what you were saying. But on top of that is, if we didn't have these documentaries, we would still go another 100 years of men in power agreeing with you, of what you were just saying, with the jury selection and everything, of people saying, I've been saying this for 30 years. Literally, they got more women saying, I couldn't come out until I saw the documentary because no one heard me. No one saw me. No one was listening to me. And it took a documentary for publicity or whatever, not probably for publicity for at least the network's sake, but for these women that are in these documentaries, this is their life. And I agree with you in saying they need to find a new journey of healing, but they couldn't even begin that journey until this documentary because nobody for 30 years was hearing them. And here's R. Kelly still selling out tours, still putting out music from the record company, still putting out shit for him and promoting him. So they had to find a way for them to be like, what can I do for R. Kelly to not monetarily still have ways to shut everybody up? Because they were saying in this documentary how he was literally paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to women, to lawyers, this and this, to shut these people up. And so if this is the only way I could get heard, I'm on their side. I don't care if it looks like a publicity stunt because finally I can start my road to healing. So yes, there might be in the media this kind of like misrepresentation of R. Kelly versus Harvey. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because they're both horrible human beings. And if I need to have 20 documentaries out there saying how horrible they are to help me heal, so be it. I don't care about the publicity.
And again, my point was not just about the healing, but I said first thing out was the justice. The thing that I care about is them
but
getting
I don't think they would have had justice if without it. They wouldn't have had justice without it.
But I'm not just talking about the justice of the self-healing, honey. I'm talking about the actual legal ramifications.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's exactly
and that's
what
I
I'm
said.
saying.
The first documentary, I agreed, and I will say it again, put the wheels in motion for that stuff to happen. That's why I said
Right.
I don't think the second one was as necessary.
But the second one had. But
it may
you
have
didn't watch the documentary.
it may have
You haven't
had
watched the
different people.
documentary.
It may have had different people. I'm telling you why I didn't watch it.
But
So
I'm just saying what you're saying is not complete story, because you're saying that the folks that took part of the first documentary, the second one had to happen because there was additional women to help A, the justice of it, B, to help their process of healing. So it's a two-parter.
Honey,
So if you're saying
was
you want him
he
to
not
be
already
justified for
arrested after the first one? Was he arrested after the first one? In between,
you need
the
to watch
second
the
one?
documentary. You will see how all of this was going on, because the documentaries was occurring before he got arrested.
Okay,
So-
and
No,
that's
the second one.
but-
The second one.
right, okay, and that's still great. What I'm saying is the legal stuff that we start seeing happened after the first one.
But
Do you
okay,
understand?
You need to watch the
Do you
documentary.
understand? But no,
because
I'm
I
not
think you're
talking
missing a
about
couple of the
no,
pieces.
no. We're talking about two different things. That's the whole
I don't
point
think
of
we
it.
are, though.
Yeah, we are, because I'm
We'll
talking
listen
about
back to this episode.
because
But Dewan,
I'm
what do you got?
talking about just the fact that he, like the stuff that we started seeing happening to R. Kelly, like
I hear
within
you
our
on
own
that.
community, that happened after the first episode.
But
and I
my
want to
point-
see
but
more
hold on,
of that
but
stuff
here's-
happening to him.
But I think you just missed my sentence like a minute ago. After the first documentary, he was out of jail. They stopped it. And so they started recording more of the second documentary. It was parts of the second documentary that helped him go back to jail. All this stuff is, kind of like how we do produce a podcast. We're not producing the second the community hears this podcast is a week later or so, or a few days later. So the way they started this documentary was months before it was the air date, is my point. So once you saw it here in January, there was stuff from this documentary that helped their legalities before we even saw the second documentary.
Yeah.
So it helped this justice piece that you're speaking of, is all I'm saying.
Right. Right.
So they
Totally
needed
fine.
the second one to aid
And
this
that's
justice piece.
good and dandy. But like I said from the get-go, I still want to see the motherfucker behind bars. Point blank, period.
Facts.
I still want to see that.
Absolutely.
I don't need to see the
Absolutely.
documentary to get to that point. It's great that it helps. I'm not saying that it doesn't. Those words never
Well, you
came
kinda
out of
just
my
were
mouth.
saying it a second
No,
ago.
I just said I don't need it. I said I don't need it. There's not a difference between saying it didn't help. I just said I don't need to watch it. I just want to see the end. I want to see him pay his dues and be held accountable for his actions. That's what I want to see at this point.
Right. No, I completely agree. Anyway, that got a little heated, but I think the second documentary was worth it because of the healing piece that some of these women need, because we weren't hearing them.
Yeah.
Point blank,
And that's
period.
great. I don't take away from that, not one bit. And I still don't change on what I said.
She said what she said,
Sure
even
did.
though it might not be all the way right with the documentary.
No,
The
okay.
only
still feel
color
the way
that
I do.
The only color that I'll add is, there are a lot of people that are in Jarrell's camp in terms of
Absolutely.
I didn't need more to influence how I believe, or what I think is the right course of action. And, obviously our legal system has a lot of flaws that can be exploited and have been exploited, by men in power. And, I'll just say that I appreciate having documentaries like this that become whistleblowers and for nothing else become a source of validation for women who've suffered in silence.
Exactly.
Because their story, their specific story, whether they were, molested by R. Kelly or not, or somebody else, somebody in their family, or any one of us that has a family member that is acting kind of funny all of a sudden because they're now in a relationship that it's keeping them away from their family. Like, I see the value in these kinds of documentaries that show real time, real people, real actions, real processes of seclusion, isolation, mind control, body control, like all this kind of stuff that you only hear about. Like when people say that these women are brainwashed, that term is in our heads is so synonymous with like science fiction or
Right.
like some kind of like 007,
It's not
take an elixir.
accessible.
It doesn't feel relatable in
Exactly.
the real world. But I think what these documentaries tend to do is shed a light to the process of how a predator uses their influence to, in effect, change these people's minds, that keep them in this their state. And so I appreciate it for that. I do share a lot of the frustration just as a Black man, in that we see faster justice happening for Black men than we do for white counterparts. And that's an element of frustration, for sure. I wish, for as vocal as women have been on some other things, I wish that they had more support. And I think this podcast like this help shine a light on some of this and show that we're here to support you as well, and be an ally in providing the voice that you might not feel that you have. So,
because especially some of them who said, she's like, even within my own Black community, now I'm getting looked at that people don't want to still believe me.
Right.
They're saying I'm laying out the dirty laundry, that I want my 15 minutes fame. So that's got to hurt for them. Be like, finally, I have an avenue, 2 documentaries, 23 documentaries. And there's still people saying, why the fuck are you doing this?
right.
I mean,
And
like,
be like,
we,
damn.
what was like
It's like, I'm
20
telling you my
plus years we
truth.
first heard about R. Kelly and incidents. Like, we, like, in the Black community alone, it was never a secret. You always heard there was something off. Like, even like the
And
whole
they hit on Aaliyah a lot more in this episode,
yeah,
in this documentary
like,
too.
like, I don't know. Like, I'm so happy, like, these women have a platform to be able to speak their truth and their experience and, the traumatic experience that they went through. It just sucks that as a community, we also couldn't support them a lot sooner. Like, it shouldn't have taken for a documentary to be in someone's face to care. And I guess that's another reason why I don't need the documentary, because it didn't take for a documentary for me to care. As soon as I heard when I was old enough,
like the whole world,
right?
Though,
but I'm speaking for but for myself, that's why I didn't care for the second one, because ever since I heard about R. Kelly peeing on the young lady, that was 2 decades ago. I was already on
over 2 decades.
I was already dismissed him by that part. Like, I never got into the Trapped in the Closets because that was after all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just mofo was already gone. So for me, this was just like, finally, people are ready to actually listen and stop making an excuse for this Black icon. And remember, he is human and can be fucked up just like the next person.
What's so funny about this? Not funny, haha, but just interesting about this is how our collective minds work in terms of how we can easily compartmentalize things. It is so easy for members of the Black and brown community to look at somebody like Trump, who's putting party over country. Yeah. But we did the same damn thing with R. Kelly. We collectively. Now, obviously, there are those that probably canceled him early on, but like you put party, you put the Black, what he does for the community over the actions that he's doing to these girls. And so,
and the hard thing, we were trained to have to do that, unfortunately, for generations of being enslaved.
True.
We literally had to look out for us, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
And
by
it's
any
literally
means necessary.
Ingrained in culture, DNA, etc. That's why it's so hard. Like, it's easy, like you said, for us to look outside it because we were treated and are still treated so horribly by other races that you'd be like, damn, I don't want to see another Black man in jail. Point blank, period. No matter how wrong the situation is. And it's weird to say that, but that's what it came down to, is that, he might be doing this, but I saw my uncle do it, so it must not be that bad because we let him slide, so we're going to let R. Kelly slide. And plus, I like stepping in the name of love. That's my shit, girl. Like, so it's easy in that regard because, like you said earlier, it's not accessible. And that's, again, what I like the documentary broke it down, because there was just shit that I was like, whoa. Okay, I get it clear.
There was a lot.
I get it clear. Because like you said, it was like I already kind of knew whatever, but I didn't know it was all this. Because
the mechanics was really what they focused on this time around, because it almost seemed like the way that they broke this the second series down was almost kind of like an episode of Law and Order SVU. Like they really broke down the process and who all these people of seduction, how he was influenced, and how he was fucked up in his head, and all the people that were helping him, and then even just the legalities of financially going after these people that didn't have anything, and it was really interesting, and it takes me back to a conversation that I had around Thanksgiving that was politically motivated. And I was having a conversation with this individual. And, like there was a conversation specifically about immigration. And, what this person said is, if you try to come here illegally, I don't see any problem, with ICE taking you up, detaining you. And I don't feel badly for the kids because their parents made that choice for them. And I said, here's the thing well, let's not go there. I said, but here's the thing. My point that the thing that frustrates me is that the law that is written should be applied equally. So if ICE is going around rounding up black and brown people, or more specifically brown people, to put them in these detaining camps, why don't we see ICE going around detaining the people that are fucking hiring them? Because you can go to every single Home Depots and Lowe's and you see the people that are lined up on the street looking for work. And you see these guys that drive up in their pickup truck. I'm just getting my point out. And you see these guys that are driving around in their pickup trucks and they hire them. So if these people that are going to jail because because they've gotten in here illegally, and the intention is that we are supposed to be protecting our democracy and saving the jobs for Americans that these people apparently are quote unquote stealing, then why are we not putting these CEOs and these managers and these construction construction company owners in prison in the same detainment camps that we're putting these other people for breaking the same law? And the point that I'm making with that is there is for me, I see an inequitable use of the law when it comes to the black and brown people and white people. And that goes back to the Harvey Weinstein. There are so many accusations of people that are in the industry today that have still yet to be pursued because in large part because they're powerful and white.
And it's economics too, like specifically for the immigration. They know people aren't going to want to do a lot of these jobs. So they know how to find them, what to get them. And it would literally cripple the economy.
But that's not the story that's being told. And so it's like,
not at all.
You can't be mad. I challenge any person that is so mad and frustrated about what they perceive, quote unquote, to be illegal immigrants. And actually the real thing is that most of the people that are coming in here for asylum, which is not illegal. Okay. But be that as it may, you cannot be mad at one side of the coin breaking the law and not be mad at the other side of the law that is homegrown in our United States, that is bucking against our own economy by shortchanging the jobs that they should be giving to people paying their actual living wages, by giving it to people and hiring quote unquote these same illegal immigrants that are supposedly taking advantage of our you can't be mad at one and not be mad at the other. And when I see that you are, then that is a hypocrisy that I will call out.
So it just goes back to what you're saying. It's easy to compartmentalize things that kind of either benefit you or you just kind of want to, sweep under the rug, and it is,
Right.
And
it's also funny how people feel certain ways depending on whether or not it affects them directly or not.
Say that again.
For the people in the overflow.
Say that again.
Because some people don't care. Unless they're not bothered by it, they don't give two shits. They can feel however they want to and not care. But soon as one of their cousins or one of their siblings or their best friend child or whatever the case is that's also included into it or are affected by it, then they want to care and they want to get their mind right. And it's just it shouldn't take to that moment to care.
Yeah.
That should be the standard from the get-go.
The quote-unquote opioid crisis going on right now. Black people been getting hooked and strung out on crack, which is cocaine, for 30 odd years. But the minute that it hits the suburbs, all of a sudden now these people need to be hospitalized, not put in jail.
Now they want to get mental health checks.
Now that it's something completely different.
Mm-hmm. But and to bring it back around, that's why I enjoyed the documentary, because I knew the fact that without it, there's still going to be people that will want to sweep it underneath the rug. And now that it's a little more tangible, a little more in your face, it's harder now to sweep it underneath the rug.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once there's something in, hopefully a lot of people, once you kind of hear and see this tangibly, it kind of eats you a little bit. You're like, shit, okay, I got to do something. I got to, it's a lot easier when you kind of maybe heard whispers, but you ain't know the girls, or you didn't see them crying, or you didn't see the effects of a family and things like that. Once you see that, justice can now start. The will, it gets a little easier to push that will of justice.
I don't know.
Before they,
For me personally,
a little bit.
I'll just, I'm not going to go into great detail. I was molested as a kid. I don't need to see someone crying. I don't need to see a documentary.
But that's you, though.
But exactly. And that was my point, though. Like, for me personally, why I didn't see it. Because I'm in a point in my life, now I'm almost going to cry, where I have gone through my personal justice, where all I care about is not just the justice for that. I care about the people, making sure that they heal the proper way that they need to heal. But also I care about whatever happens to the fucking people that do stupid shit like that do the fucked up shit, that make life harder for people like myself, that have to do more work to thrive in society and care about their fucking lives, because it is damaging on so many fucking levels. And that's why for me, I just want to see, I care about getting that motherfucker and everyone else locked up and getting the consequences for their actions. That's why that is my main focus. And I would never need a documentary or need someone to tell me their personal story. All they have to say is, me too, and I got it. That's all I need. Yeah. I don't need nothing more.
But unfortunately, not everyone's like
that. That's true. Absolutely.
That's a sad thing. And so if it takes, so I guess in my mind, if it takes a documentary to lock them up, I'm here for it. I'm here. So whatever it needs to be.
Whatever needs to happen.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Whatever needs to happen. If a documentary helps, help. Like you said, 23 documentaries. I don't care.
Exactly.
But
and it is weird because, and I'll admit I struggle a bit with this. When it comes to celebrities, none of us are in that situation. Celebrities or the victims, none of us are in those situations. And I go back to like our conversation about, Michael Jackson and the documentary around that. And I never really had, really had an issue with, people that, gosh, I don't want to say this. I had more of an issue with how the documentary was presented, but not the idea that we should believe the victims. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And there's a very distinct difference in my mind about how information is presented.
Yes.
Versus what the truth really is. Mm-hmm. And, I struggle, and I admit it, I struggle with saying, I believe, I know for a fact that, this person did that, when I'm not in the room, I wasn't there, and I'm being fed information, that somebody has put together, with a point of view, and it influences my perspective. So, and again, I'm not saying that I don't believe victims and, those kind of things, but I'm just admitting my humanity and my faults, and that I don't automatically go to I'm rah-rah on the victim side, or I'm rah-rah in the, the accused side. I don't go to one other. I try to, as much as possible, to just stand back and try not to have any feelings one way or the other until, I guess, I see so much overwhelming evidence that it forces me to actually have a point of view. And, I just share that to say that I think that there's a lot of people that share that kind of same struggle, that it takes them a little bit more to jump on the bandwagon, because I know people who have been accused of doing things that they never did. I know people who have accused people of doing things that they never did to them. And so my worldview is very skewed. And let's just be clear. I'm not saying that all victims are not victims. What I'm saying is I know that there are people that are out there that use the Me Too movement, as a way to get what they want.
There's an exception to the rule. There's always
absolutely.
There's always exceptions.
There's always
absolutely
those one-offs that just kind of
fuck it up for everybody else.
Right.
That make you can't,
Karen, take your raisins out of the potato salad.
Let's absolutely.
Fuck it up, Karen.
I mean, because that's how I felt about the Michael Jackson one. Because I agreed with you with the Michael Jackson one. That was the first time. It was so hard for me to be like, Like, I believe y'all because of how the information was.
How it was presented.
Right. But again, going back to everything that I remember from in the 90s, you know, like, it's hard not to, you know, it's very hard not to, you know, but again, that was also a weird case because Michael Jackson no longer with us. So there was also the question of like, why now and all this other stuff, you know, but yeah. I don't know.
I'm glad that
people need to get together. These men need to get it together. And that's why I agree with people. And like, you know, we need to get more women in power and getting more women in control of things. Because I honestly believe that the world would be a much better place if we had way more women in control of a lot of things that happen in day-to-day life. And so
I agree.
You know,
and thank you for sharing, Jarrell, as well.
Yeah. I mean, I try really not to cry on that one, but
yeah, but no, I mean, you were vulnerable and it helped. And here's the thing, it helps people.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another reason why I enjoyed the documentary, because I don't know who's watching it, that it's maybe finally cracking that generational thing, you know?
Yeah.
Just like, and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, we know, but it could be little Tina Turner somewhere, you know, in this world that saw it and be like, I could finally share my truth.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's just two sides of that spectrum. You're right. Because there's it could be very empowering for some people. But then for people like me who've gone through the self-healing, the next thing for us is rage. Because it's like, why does it have to be so many of us? Like, why is the club that I'm unfortunately a member of, why am I finding there are 15 more people in this club? Like, I just got to the point where I'm cool with the members that I already knew in the club. Now we got, like, I don't want to be happy about someone else joining this damn club. This is a club that nobody should be about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where the anger comes from the other side of the spectrum when you see stuff like that. Because it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's why it's just a cool thing that we have this as a platform, because going back to why, you know, the three of us decided to go into this journey together. It's really about being transparent and flaws and all, talking about issues and sharing our own perspectives and being, you know, vulnerable to the degree that we're comfortable, so that other people who may be struggling with, you know, similar thoughts, feelings, anxieties, frustrations, etc., you know, may have the courage to even reach out to any one of us. So I would just encourage you, community. I know you guys are listening, and thank you for hanging on for this long. It's a long one.
And this was a maybe conversation, by the way, y'all. We were like, maybe there's more time. We might talk about R. Kelly.
But I just want to put it out there, guys, that, you know, we call you guys our community because you're part of something and we're open to you. So if you want to talk about something and you don't feel comfortable to talk about it with your IRL, you know, circle, then reach out to us. You know, we're here. We support you. We hear you. We believe you. We see you. And, you know, let's do this journey together so you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah. Speaking of other
community members,
speaking of musicians that are canceled, Kanye is officially canceled. Officially fucking canceled.
Done.
No, done with him. This whole anti-gay rally, no, done. Suck a dick.
I rode hard for him. I did. I was just trying to give him the benefit of the artist. I did. I rode hard for him.
I said suck a dick, and you said I did right afterwards. I was like,
he missed it.
No.
I was like,
that answered Corey's question that I took a drink for
him. But no, yeah, he's canceled. I can't deal with it. You can tell that he's going through life changes and he's grasping onto straws, and, you know, he's found himself in this, you know, kind of like church thing. And I don't want to knock anybody's, you know, beliefs by any stretch of the measure, but he's flawed. He's flawed. And by the actions and how he's so dramatically making these kinds of changes, you can just, like, at least I can just tell that he's grasping at straws, trying to find anything that can either feed his psychosis or ease his psychosis.
I've said this ever since it's happened, ever since his mom passed. His mom literally was the only person on this earth that could talk to Kanye. You hear from every story he's told, from his raps, ever since his mom died. And I honestly think he still feels it was partly his fault. I honestly feel Kanye feels that if he didn't become successful, didn't have the money that he had or has to give his mom, because she died from complications from plastic surgery, and I feel he probably holds on to that, saying, if I didn't have the funds to do this, she would still be here, blah, blah, blah. And literally the only person who could talk him out of that crazy thought was his mom.
Yeah.
And ever since then, you see the spiral of Kanye West. And I'm hoping God and everything gets them together, but he's still grasping, like you said.
Yeah.
And you see it in real live time.
It's
and
sad.
it's sad that no one can help him.
Nope.
He doesn't want to be helped.
No.
And then B, no one can help him. And so I'm hoping it's God that gets them all way together, honestly. But he's still grasping, and it was his mom that is literally the only one who could talk sense into him.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
It's sad,
and there's,
honestly.
I mean, that makes sense, and I definitely feel for him on that. And we all go through our own journeys, and self-healing is that itself, self-healing. Like, you have to do that personally yourself. You got to do the work yourself. Can't nobody do the work for you. And this is a prime example. When you have someone that is able to help you, that's great. But at the end of the day, that person's helping you. You should still be able to do it on your own. And this is what happens when you're not able to. But my issue with his journey is when it starts to become like anti-LGBTQ. And then that his journey starts to be harmful to others.
And anti-black, honestly, black and brown.
That's when I have my issues with people in their self-healing journeys. If you have to hurt other people to find yourself, you're finding yourself in the wrong place, because you should be finding yourself in love and light.
Yeah. I hear you. So, I just feel for him. I want someone to be able to help him, and like you said, because he's right now not able to do it himself. So part of just my being is not completely giving up on humans. As much as I want to completely write them off, part of me still wants to be like, God, how do we help him? Even though I know it's not my burden, it's not my weight personally, but just part of my being is still like, God, have we explored every avenue?
Honestly, I think if we canceled him, I think if he was truly canceled and he didn't have the opportunities to grasp at so many different straws to try to survive or try to figure it out, I think it would force him to sit down and dwell on the things internally. I think he's just looking under different rocks, avoiding his own rock that he's underneath himself. And I think that's the best way we can help him. And like I said, he's canceled, but I'm a person of forgiveness for the most part.
Hashtag never let it go.
Right.
But she's doing better. She got about 9 feelings now, though.
For the most part.
She get more feelings, so it's a journey.
This isn't necessarily something he's done directly to me to hurt me, so I can be a lot more forgiving in a sense, if that makes sense. So I have no problem canceling him, and once he gets his stuff together, being like, welcome, brother. Let's celebrate your self-discovery, your new journey, this new path that you're on that is healthier and better for you and those around you. But when you are doing all sorts of evil, fucked up things to people, and you are intentionally doing it without zero fucks, then that's when you cancel for good.
Yeah.
Well, community, thank you for sticking around for this extended episode.
Right, we gave y'all a long episode. It's been since maybe May, June since we did an episode this long.
Look, we said 2020, we leveling up. So we leveled up everything. Our conversations.
And again, thank you to our partners, our husbands, our boo things for participating in this episode. If you liked it, let us know. Leave us some comments, because we're trying to get more people on the episodes this year. That's one of our main goals. And then, it was just easy to grab our partners for the first couple ones there. And I'm sure they'll be back, because they've all expressed that they're willing and wanting to come back. So look forward to that. And we will check you out next week. So thank you.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.